Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Oh, are you switching up microphones?
Because earlier wasn't working.
Oh no.
And I was kind of
Now
like,
it is.
oh, and I'm like, now it's finally
Or now
showing up.
you've adjusted. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, there it goes. Ba 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 ba. La 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 la. So I won't even
Beautiful.
bother.
Oh
Kind
shit. Oh, there it goes.
of.
But yeah, man.
What?
What was your honest opinion on Aquaman?
My honest opinion on the Aquas, the man of the Aquas,
On
I
Aqua,
would say. I would say no. It was definitely it's they WB should have took our word and 100%. Hey, what's up? Well, oh shoot, we're
We're
live and
live. I
direct.
went sneaky live. What's up, Well? Long
Oh
time.
yeah,
I went
but
sneaky live.
you went sneaky live,
I went
but
casual
all
live.
I know, right? But 100%, no, that movie should have took our heed our words early on and just dropped that shit on Max.
Yeah.
It should have. It should have.
No, for
Because
sure.
it really was like, all right, was this really meant for theaters kind of movie? Because how they kind of advertised it, and then it's like, oh man, Black Manta is gonna have like this army, and he's gonna attack
Mhm.
Atlantis, and we're gonna see some big hit, someone like like people are gonna die, da 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 da. He's attacking his home, and his kid, and it's going to have that element. You thought the stakes were going to get high, and I'll
The
say
stakes.
this: the stakes were just, man, it was more so of a Saturday morning cartoon sort of, all right, Black Manta's here, we're going to foil his plans. Everything that he's
Yes.
doing is not gonna it literally did nothing. Everything, they stopped him. He's like, whoop, he's gonna get this. He did a whole attack on Atlantis, really didn't do too much damage, or it had no real stakes
Mm-mm.
at all attached to
Stakes
it.
lower than my eyes, bro.
I know, right?
Throughout that
So
movie, like this.
I
Oh
was
my.
so I was like, oh, I thought, we thought Amber Heard was gonna die. Apparently, she was alive, well, and very much in the movie.
Prospered. She prospered, and it didn't even bother me that she. Well, it didn't bother me that Amber Heard. Like you put a lot of stakes into that. Like you said, yeah, Aquaman.
they
Yeah,
added
I'm not gonna say trash, but I'm not gonna say go rush to your theater and go see it because it was
100% wait
waste of
until
time.
it's on Max. Yeah, wait till gets on Max. But the only thing, like the bright spot of that movie, which they should have just done a lot sooner in the beginning, have Black Manta kind of do his thing, and he gets Orm, aka
Mm-hmm.
Ocean Master, and then they could have done their little uh DC's the DCEU's like attempt, old
Yeah.
DCEU's attempt to have a Loki and Thor dynamic with each other. These brothers
Mm-hmm.
who are like, you have the goofy one who Jason Momoa is obviously kin to Thor, and then you have the Loki character, which Ocean
Yeah.
Master is kind of that straight, narrow type of person, and kind of deadpan sort of way, like how they had their dynamic. And I would say this, their chemistry was actually very good in the movie. Like the scenes with them and their
Oh yeah.
interaction with each other and everything, that was actually the bright spot of the movie. And it's like, that's what really, I would say, saved the movie
Mm-hmm.
overall.
Yeah, it
And I
was
think
their
that's because of
chemistry
the
saved
chemistry.
the movie for sure. It's not Fantastic Four bad. It's not gonna be one of those like cult classic-y bad. It's just it's okay. I'll put it this way. it's a mid 2000s sequel bad. Like it's just one of those, like they just threw it together because they felt like they had to.
And it was like the end, and you also have to take in consideration all the rewrites, how bad the test screenings went previously, and how it was. Oh, we didn't like how the plot was. It was more so about the whole global warming thing, and the audiences didn't. They still kind of kept that story plot in there, like the planet's heating up, and all this stuff is do, and global warming is a thing. You know, the turtles are, you know, eating plastic straws. The plastic straws are destroying the ecosystem. Turtles are choking on them. But no, it's not Dark Phoenix bad either. No. I would say it's a buddy film. Just think about if it's kind of, I would say it's equivalent to Thor: The Dark World, in a sense where it's like, this movie isn't that good, but like, I would say I say this is a little bit better than Thor: The Dark World, because in Thor: The Dark World, that's where you got the dynamic of Loki and Thor finally teaming up together and actually, you know, working together for the first time in that movie. And it was a bad movie, but you can see the chemistry that they had with each other on screen and gave Loki time to shine a lot more in that.
Yeah.
So it's like this movie is that kind of bad.
I also, to me, again, like you said, it didn't really deliver on the stakes. But the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I thought, like, this is one of those sequels that it didn't address anything from the first movie other than Orm. And it didn't really, like, I felt like this movie could have been the first Aquaman movie. You know what I mean? Like, you could have introduced Aquaman in the Seven Kingdom, like with the Missing Kingdom, and you maybe could have just done some dialogue over a montage about how Orm fucked everything up and the Atlanteans locked him away. But I understand they also had to have the dynamic with Aquaman and the council.
Yeah, and everything like that, and kind of just glossing over stuff a little bit too fast.
It was the first movie in reverse. Like the first movie, he goes to find Atlantis to go find the Trident, and it's like this big thing for him to find and claim the Trident, and that's the ending of the movie. Whereas the beginning of this movie is Manta just accidentally stumbling across an evil version of like a necro Trident.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Yeah, that's what it pretty much was. Just randomly, I just found this.
Yeah.
Don't explain how I know where this was and how I found it. Don't ask those questions. But here it is.
Don't explain what he saw, and also, we're just gonna shoehorn this element in here that, you know, we locked it away so that we couldn't overheat the planet and
all this other stuff. But yeah, he was able to find
the old MacGuffins
and do this. Yep, that's pretty much was just so.
We had a lot of MacGuffins in it. Like they just kept on like throwing things in there that were just like, oh. And also, I was talking with Anthony about this, and he was laughing kind of hard at this. I understand that, you know, it's a movie, and we're supposed to kind of suspend ourselves in belief.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Tamora is a badass, and that is Boba Fett, or Jango Fett, or Boba Fett, or whatever you want to call him.
But, yeah,
either or. But is it just me, or does it seem a little irresponsible to just leave the Prince of Atlantis with absolutely no security whatsoever? Like even in peaceful times, doesn't it just seem like a little to leave him alone in a lighthouse with his grandpa?
Right? Yeah.
You know, like where's the security? Where's the
right? It's like you're the king of Atlantis, and you have the prince just chilling up there with no guards or nothing like that, and anybody can just go up there and do whatever he wants. Even some crackhead can just go in there and just do what he wants. And just fuck
some
shit up in
Somali
there.
pirates just cruise up on that
Right.
lighthouse. Like, what are you gonna do then?
Yeah, man. Just anybody could roll up on them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, dropped the ball on that one. And yeah, your son is Atlantean too. Why can't you bring him down there too?
Did it bother you how excited he was that his kid could talk to fish?
Right. Yeah.
It kind of did. Like he was like shocked. He was like, "Oh my god, he can do it, bro!" You guys are both Atlanteans, both you and your wife. This isn't like,
yeah, he's gonna have some type of power, like crazy powers.
You then had a baby with a normal person, and your kid's quarter Atlantean. Like,
right? Yeah. Your kid's
able to talk to fish.
I know, yeah, do something. Yeah, he's more Atlantean than Aquaman himself.
Yeah.
It is like, man, it's like, yeah, it was kind of, but that brings it to the fact, like, dog, all right, yeah, you don't have security, but why couldn't you bring him down to Atlantis when you know everybody, like, shit's going down? He can be way more protected down there than up there with grandpa with no security at all.
None. And what was Nicole Kidman's purpose in that movie?
None. Good thing you reminded me. I forgot she was even in it. I forgot she was honestly in that movie.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
It's like Amber Heard had more of a presence than Nicole Kidman and actually had more of a purpose than her. She was just there, like, go get your brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. Listen to your mother. You play nice with your brother, and that's pretty much that's how that went. Even Dolph Lundgren had more of a presence in the movie.
That movie, just seemed very.
Yeah,
it's like they should have dropped that one on Max. They should have just given that the Max treatment.
Oh, Max treatment, because like even then, like Black Manta and this whole thing of him trying to, I'm gonna kill Aquaman, everything. He didn't even do a good job at that. He's like, he didn't put him in any real danger at all when they went face to face with each other. It really still was pretty much one-sided.
And then the corny send-off of him just killing himself.
Yeah, it's like, no, I would not need your help. And then
I'll never accept your help. Like, why don't you just okay.
I knew that was happening. I saw that when he was hanging there. I knew Aquaman was gonna reach his hand out, and then I'm like, oh, he's not gonna accept it. And then it's kind of like you saw that one coming a mile away. I'm telling you, they just should have just had them Arm and Aquaman just have like more of their little buddy time. That took a long time for them to actually kind of get that going in there. It was like that shouldn't have took more than 30 minutes of them actually teaming up and getting things going. Like that should have happened. I'm still not him being the younger brother. That's still, man. He's just too old looking in the face.
Patrick. Yeah. I audibly, I don't know what the word would be for the noise, the sarcastic laugh, snort, guffaw, whatever you want to call it. It was kind of one of all those, all in the same when he's like crawling towards the tide.
Oh yeah.
Chasing him and he's like crawling towards the tide, the water, and it finally like washes over him. I was like,
over, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and he pops up.
That's all it took. That's all I need to do to get shredded is just lay on the beach and just let
just let a little water just get moist a little bit and just and that's all it took.
Yeah, like okay. All right.
And I'll say this. Man,
what a great comic book moment, to be honest with you, though.
Yeah. And that's the thing about that movie. I guess that what I say that's better than Thor: The Dark World. And that's the thing what the first Aquaman did. It leans into the cheesy, kind of comic booky sort of things, like stuff that you would most likely see on a page of a comic book, dialogue that you would most likely read in a comic book. And it's like, if you really took some of the dialogue from a comic book and literally made that a script to a movie or anything, you're just going to have a very cheesy ass movie. Like, it looks and sounds cool in your head when you read it on the pages, but just watch Aquaman 2 or Aquaman 1 and you will understand like some of that stuff don't translate that well. Going into the movies like that. But you know what, I appreciate that it's leaning into that kind of corniness of it and actually gave it somewhat of a charm to it, that it was more so not so much trying to be based in reality. We're gonna embrace the comic bookiness, the costumes and everything, and how Atlantis looks and how all this stuff goes together. It's just like, all right, I can see this lifted from the pages of a comic book, and you're putting it on the screen. And that's why I say like it's corny, but it's like, all right, y'all aren't doing it in the sense that, all right, we're trying to be serious and it's like, being corny. Ironically, I think they knew what they were doing with a lot of this dialogue and how they put things out there with it. But as far as a send-off, the send-off to the old DC universe,
it's over.
Blue Beetle did a way better job at being more of a better send off.
It's like watching. It's like watching your favorite team at the end of the season. Like, you won a few, but like these last two games don't really mean anything. So you're just there you're just there because you're a fan.
Yeah, you're a fan. Like, also, like, with the DC universe is more so like, all right, we're not making the playoffs at all, so this is definitely a meaningless game.
That's
how it kind of felt.
We're gonna try to maybe spoil somebody else's box office weekend, doubtfully, but
exactly,
yeah.
It's like, no, they weren't doing that. But the thing that I would say that I think DC, Warner Brothers, and I think they'll probably will continue to do this. They are definitely sticking to their cast and crew, no matter how toxic or trouble that they did, because they kept with Ezra Miller. No, Amber Heard.
Oh yeah, I guess
Amber Heard, with all the stuff with her in that trial that happened that last year with Johnny Depp, and on top of that, they took in a toxic, radioactive James Gunn at the time, where Marvel got rid of him, and then they scooped him up, and gave him some of their best movies. And guess what?
I normally don't subscribe to these tinfoil hat theories because I usually just meddle with them for fun, just throw them out there for funsies. But I really think, I truly believe, and I cannot remember the fucker's name, but I think that was a plan. I think he did that shit on purpose. Like I don't think James Gunn getting fired and then getting hired at Warner Brothers by the same dude who hired him at Marvel was a mistake. Like, I don't think that's like just or like a coincidence. Do you know what I mean? Like the dude leaves Marvel. And then all of a sudden somebody digging up the old James Gunn suite. I'm sure it's just the internet being the internet. But like, I don't think James Gunn was ever truly fired from Marvel, is my tinfoil hat theory.
No, he won't. They try to play it. I don't know why they would do it, and I think they made that mistake, and they kind of won't do. They probably won't make that mistake again, where you had something as hot as him and had such good movies and do
Because he
that
still
and
came
fire
back.
somebody.
He still
Because
came
they
back
could.
into Guardians, and that's why I think they don't. Because if they really, really wanted him gone, and people were really upset, like he wouldn't have come back for Guardians 3. But I really think that
Because
they sat him down and they were like, "Go work for you come work for me over it. Like we're gonna fire you."
no, they fired him. I mean, I think it's just that my homie just got a new job over here, and I know he can put a good word in for me. And
Yeah,
look at
like over at Warner
and look at
Brothers.
my resume. Yeah, it's like, oh, look at my resume. They're
I
like,
already
oh,
worked for you. I already did 2 movies under you.
yeah. So it's like, oh shoot, you like, oh, you're
It's like
available. Come on right in.
I cannot remember the guy's name. He's a
Yeah, I don't remember his name either. But with how they stick to those people and they stick to their guns like that, no pun intended, but they
yeah.
that's a place like, all right, man, I might, if I think I'm in a bad way or there might be some bad press about me, Warner Brothers is
Alan
like, man,
Horn.
if you, oh, okay.
That's the dude's
Alan
name. He was at Disney and he was an executive at Marvel or Disney with Marvel, and then he left, and then all of a sudden he hired him over at Warner Brothers. Like they kind of left, like the timeline lines up to where I don't think he was there, I don't think it was sabotage necessarily, but I don't think he was ever truly let go from Marvel. Because it's one of those things where these executives don't just leave and then go on what do you call it, Indeed,
or
a new job.
or
I knew he was going to Warner Brothers. So I bet you that's what happened. They were like, hey, he's like, hey, I'm going to Warner Brothers in 6 months. We already know this. Just we're gonna fire you, and you can just come work for me. You go back to Disney if you want to do number 3, but
what I think what probably happened, and I'm not gonna put on the tinfoil hat with you. I'm gonna put on a Magneto.
Oh, there you go. All right,
a Magneto hat, and I'm gonna say basically probably WB planted or dug up those old tweets so he would get fired, knowing that we'll have a job over here for you. So it's like them kind of setting that shit up, knowing that hey, I got a good rapport with Gunn already. We really need somebody to come over here and save the DC universe for us and do some stuff. Is there any way that you can probably talk to Gunn for us? He's like, don't worry about it. I got it. And set that whole thing in
dug
motion.
up the tweets.
Had someone dig up the tweets and kind of put that stuff in motion. It's like, hey, man, I heard what happened. He was probably on the phone like, dog, man, I heard what happened. Hey, if I just let you know, we'll take you with open arms. We'll take you with open arms over here. What you want to do, I got you. Whatever movie you want to make, I got you. So it's like, yeah. So they're probably already they probably played a little, evilness on their end to kind of put that stuff
is
out
wild.
there.
Could you imagine that phone conversation? Just hey, can you just go back 4 years into James Gunn? Anything offensive, just
try
anything,
to find
just any terrible joke. Yeah, just anything.
Yeah. And he probably knew those jokes were out there. He's like, I'm pretty sure. He probably sure. He's like, man, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
he probably had those tweets saved.
That one, that's I was kind of when it was happening, I was kind of watching the internet react, and there was one side of the internet that was saying this guy's fucking disgusting, terrible person. I can't believe Disney let him on. And there was another side of the internet that's like, have you guys watched any of his old shit? Did you guys watch the movies he made before he came to Disney? This is right in line with kind of where he is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Where his humor is and he snuck a lot of that humor into the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's just where people were kind of like, you don't remember who this person was before he got to that Disney over there at Disney. And that's and again with him and his with the success that he had, I think it was easier for him to go back in and also knocking it out with the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker over there. And it's kind of like, ooh, like do we have the right people to maybe take on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 the way that probably he would have done it? And I don't think that would have happened.
No, not at all.
At all. And that's why I think that's what the reason why he got embraced with open arms back at Disney. And that's probably why also they weren't confident. And that's why Jonathan Majors got let go so fast. Just because.
So fast.
And the reason that, you know what, I think they were planning on dumping off the whole Kang storyline anyway. I think this was just giving them an excuse to.
It's been the where there was smoke, there's always kind of been fire. We've kind of always talked about this, and it just always felt like it was leaning.
Leaning towards like, oh, what? It seemed like, what are they going to do to kind of course correct things to make this a threat? Like, your biggest threat got defeated by a shit ton of ants.
Mm-hmm.
And this is supposed to be your big bad leading into this. And it just the multiverse sort of thing and how big of a player he was supposed to be versus kind of like, and I'll say this, and we ain't got to stay on this one for too long, as far as like how Thanos was built up. He pretty much, Infinity War was the Thanos movie. That's how you get to see who it is, because even before that, in all the end credit scenes in the Infinity Saga, it wasn't like, oh my goodness, it's Thanos. It's, oh my goodness, what Infinity Stone is coming up? What are we going to see? The Mind Stone? Are we going to see this? And we knew Thanos was in the background. It's like, hopefully he doesn't get these stones. It was all about the Infinity Stones the whole entire time. You barely seen Thanos in any end credit scene until like what I guess I'm gonna have to do it myself. And he got the Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, no, we still got some glimpses on him, because we saw
him Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yeah, we got the introduction of him. We got his side profile in Avengers.
That one was that was a throwaway one, because that kind of Thanos and what they were building up was nothing like the one that what they were doing. So you got a slight.
And they did him in Guardians. So Guardians was like his first true introduction.
Yeah, was first true introduction, and then you got somewhat. It was more so like, oh, you are the. You still didn't get how big of a threat he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's more so, I'm a Nebula and Gamora, go get the Power Stone.
Yeah,
because I said so. I'm Thanos. And you had Ronan talking back to him and stuff like that. It's like, I'm not giving you this back. And he's like, you better not leave. And he's gonna say, I'm just gonna shut this video off and keep on doing my thing. It's like, if it didn't show the fact that that's kind of like a Thanos thing. It's not as bad as getting defeated by ants, but it's like, this is Thanos, and you're just gonna sit there and just madly disrespect him that way, and just kind of just like, I don't need you anymore. What's like Thanos should have came and laid waste to that place, which he did in Infinity Wars that you saw. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna just dust everything up. And it's like, you didn't get that until then. But just to go back to everything like with Kang right now, I don't think people are believing him, because Kang had way more screen time in Ant-Man than Thanos had in Guardians in his first real show out in that. And you had him, and it didn't work out, and things after that, and no one was, and they didn't really put Kang in a position to redeem himself after that, and then they're hearing all the backlash and everything about, the Infinity Saga, not the Infinity Saga, the Secret Wars, and how's that going to work, the Kang Dynasty. So it's kind of like they're basically doing the DC thing, where they're kind of shaking in their boots a little bit too soon, And I think they're kind of like not thinking things through. We're trying to rush things. We're trying to do this. There was the rumors of, oh, maybe Doctor Doom might take over as the main bad guy, which that 100% should not be the case. I'm totally against that one.
After the last show, when you had made your points, I believe I agree with you on those. My issue, I think, where they fumble with Kang was the issue of him not being able to. So you paint him as like Kang the Conqueror as the big bad for it, and even after he's dead, you get all the other Council of Kangs together, and they're like, "Well, they got rid of him. The one that we banished, we got rid of him."
Mm-hmm.
Even at that point, it's like, so the one that everyone is supposed to fear is now gone anyway. So now it's just a bunch of you.
And then
like if really like the big bad is gone, like then it's really just a bunch of, and then Loki kind of like solidifies that in the fact that where now the TVA is just a task force for collecting Kang. So what do we need? You know what I mean? Like that, we don't need a big like. I understand that there's an infinite amount of versions, and they could, you know, any one of them could be meek and meager and, you know, and easy to take down by the TVA and prune, but like that just kind of that thins out the villain to me. That then, like, especially as a big bad.
Yeah,
maybe you know, maybe like the Ultron. You know, maybe Kang's more like an Ultron. Like he's the villain in between the villains.
You know that's not what they're building him up, but how they
that's
were.
Not what they were building him up to, but maybe that's not what he's going to have to become.
Well, they are talking about recasting him anyway with a new actor right now, and there's like rumblings about it. What was this? What was this?
Just let him die. Just let him die. You had the line from Owen Wilson where they're talking about, oh, we got another one. Oh, we got this one. Mm-hmm. I would say let him be. You're canning Kang Dynasty. You're rewriting it. So I would just say just let it be. Just let it be kind of one of those weird, like, hey, we screwed this one up, but we're just gonna, you know what I mean? Like this, you know, this round we kind of screwed it up. We got a little ahead of ourselves. We dumped too much content in too little time.
Like, yeah. But they did say, but in the at the end with the Council of Kangs, what the big thing that was kind of leading things to the Kang Dynasty and like, you know, Earth 616, but they were like, oh, this Earth over here, they have like, you know, they can jump multiverses and they have these capabilities of doing this. This is going to cause a problem, so we need to, you know, do something about, you know, Earth 616 and the people over here because they have. They're kind of they've been fooling around with the multiverse a little bit too much right now. We don't like that sort of thing. And that's where the Council of Kangs kind of came in. And what they are, they say that they're kind of, his name, Coleman Domingo. And that was the actor that's like in talks of replacing Jonathan Majors as Kang, which if they were to recast somebody, I would say he is not a bad choice because I've seen some of the things that he was in. He was like, he did a good job in like in Euphoria. He was like one of the bright spots in Fear of the Walking Dead. So, but he's like, you know, he's a good actor overall. And yeah, he was like in that Candyman, the new Candyman. So he's done a lot of things. And yeah, and I think he was like in the new Color Purple too. And so like you know, he's kind of hot right now as far as like, oh, so his name, and it's like, oh, that wouldn't be a bad choice if you want to continue on with Kang, but because there's promise there with the Kang, you know, storyline and doing this and them having another multiversal war and seeing all the different variations, the main ones, the ones at the big the council like Immortus and, you know, Ramatut and all those guys. You like seeing those guys and seeing how they formulate and how they can be really fleshing those out to be like the real ruthless versions of Kang. Because all right, Kang the Conqueror didn't hit. Like he who remains hit. He hit. And that's what gave people a lot of faith, because it's like, oh, this guy, even though he seems a lot more calmer, he's a lot more calculated, and he's really more he's evil, and he hit, and people were going with it. And Conqueror didn't hit, but you can hit with, I guess He Who Remains he's gone completely, but you have all the other ones that you can kind of maybe build up.
But like that was kind of like my whole point about Kang the Conqueror and Kang in general was like, even He Who Remains was like, I had to take this one and I had to lock him up.
Mm-hmm.
We had to banish him. Like we had to get rid of him first, and then figure out what to do with everything else. And then now that he's gone, no disrespect, created by Paul Rudd and the Ant-Man. Like I just it's hard to buy Kang as like as a big bad, like it's hard.
They have to lean on the other ones. They have to lean on the other ones now. The other ones that was in that council, those are the ones that are going to have to pick up the slack.
But if you're going to rewrite Kang Dynasty, where are you going to go with? You know what I mean?
The multiversal war is going to really fuck things up so bad that is going to lead into Secret Wars, as far as the multiverse, like all these different kind of heroes trying to save the universe, as far as things not getting wiped out completely, because that war is not going to play out the same way that it did the first time around, because He Who Remains is gone. And he was like the one that was victorious. Now he's gone. Now this war, he said it at the end of Loki season 2, is like, this multiversal war is going to happen, and you don't understand how bad it's going to be. So it's like, he's pretty much setting up like, dog, this is no joke in how the severity of the multiversal war is going to do, and what it's going to do to all these timelines that you kind of hold dear and you're trying to save. All that stuff is going to pretty much be in the balance of being obliterated with this war that's going to go on. And it's going to get interesting to see how the Fantastic Four movie, how that's really going to play into it. I think that's going to play more of a bigger role in the whole multiversal kind of war thing. Because have you seen like some of the casting rumors on that, like Pedro Pascal?
I haven't seen anything about that. Like I haven't. Like, when are we gonna start getting some good news? Like, when are we gonna start getting some good Marvel news? Like some casting news, some Fantastic Four news, some.
They said maybe sometime more sooner than later, but a lot of but also, and I always keep on forgetting that Deadpool 3 is an MCU movie.
It is an MCU movie. We are gonna get it is coming down the pipe, and that's the other thing too, is that like I forget, because they are trying to keep this one so close and so like under wraps, that I almost forget that it's still coming, because they're trying really hard not to talk about it.
Yep. And besides the leaked, set photos and stuff like that, you really don't know too much. Everything is pretty much rumors and speculation.
Yeah, it's just all
at this point. But multiversal stuff is going to happen in that, and we already know that we already got X-Men due to the Marvels coming in here, and now you're going to get some more of that. But all in all, I think they're going to try, I think them kind of narrowing down the bulk of the stuff and just hitting the drawing board again, and kind of just making sure that we get good movies.
Yeah.
Get good movies. And of course, all right, if they can connect in this little smallest thread, but as long as we still get some good movies, I think it's good. I think everything is kind of like in the middle of the road to not being good, and then you might get a Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's shoved in there. Everything's been kind of just to not so great as far as just the quality. I'm not talking about the connectivity of it in the grand scheme of things. I'm just saying just the quality of what you're putting on screen is just kind of been in the middle of the road. It's like, all right, this is something decent, or it's just not good, or you get that one kind of banger movie.
Mm-hmm. But I also think too some of the low quality of the shows or shows, movies, etc., the things that they've put out, I truly believe that the fans, myself included, could probably get past some of it if we knew, if like there was, some like actual direction, you know what I mean, like as far as where it was going. Because like even when like the MCU was at its baby stage and was rolling through, it's not like every single movie leading up to Endgame was an absolute heater. They had some stinkers thrown in there, but they were still like exciting to see because you got to see where everything was going and where each character was going on their individual journey and where it was heading to on a grander scale, on the grand scheme of things. And with this one, it wasn't doing that. So like you were getting kind of double fucked.
And it says yes,
and I feel like it would be more. It wouldn't be as shambles if we saw a little bit more connectivity and where it was going, and some of these end credit scenes kind of pay off.
And I think we've gotten so conditioned to always anticipate the end credit scene and not enjoy what's on the screen. And I think Marvel is trying to do that. But I would say, that's why I was like, I need to get back to the actual quality of the movie. And then if they have something on the end credit end of it, because that's easy. Like I said, you can have just a sliver of just connectivity at the end credit scene.
And it doesn't even have to be necessarily even like at the end credit scene, to your point, like being conditioned to wait for the end credit scene. I've jokingly gone into movies being like, I'm here for the end credit scene. Like, I'm just here to see what goes on at the end. Right. How are we going to move forward? But you can also, like, to this point now, the universe has gotten so big that you could answer questions or you could slide in connective tissues and connective wires in your solo movies that don't necessarily have to be in the that don't have to be at the end credits
end credits
movie, and pay something off from earlier and still move on with the story that you're doing, or tease something that's happened a little bit earlier rather than because your universe has gotten that big now. Like, you don't necessarily, you're not just on, you're not 5 movies in and on Thor 2. Where you're kind of on like a linear trajectory. You're not on that trajectory. So you can still, there still should be some, connectivity and some like, hey, by the way, like in this movie, I plan on writing, like we plan on paying this off. Like, this needs to be paid off somewhere down the road. You can't just like throw this in here.
And that's what it's coming to be. It's like it's so much stuff getting thrown in and no big payoff, or it's just you're leading up to nothing. I think what you were saying before, like it needs to, like how it was kind of linear when you in the old kind of stuff. I think it needs to start to get kind of that way. Get kind of linear on the main stuff, because you got to think about too, in the old in the Infinity Saga, and they had like the Netflix shows, which were MCU canon, but apparently they said it's officially MCU canon. But even though they said that before, which I just don't get. But it's like you can have your side stuff like this. Like, have you watched the all of the What If season 2? type like that. That's stuff, that's side stuff that you can do in this multiversal like world and everything. It ain't gotta be in like the main sort of thing. It can be something on the side, kind of like how Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, that was something on the side. It was still in the same universe. It's something on the side, but we got everything that's in this direction. Boom, right here, the sacred timeline sort of things. Like, yeah, this is it. Boom, everything else on the side is cool, but this is what, if you want to, what's going to happen in the movies, this is what's going to happen right here. And I think they need to start focusing on that a lot. Yeah, going back to that, like, all right, we got this stuff on the side, which is fun. You can enjoy them. They're still canon, but as far as the whole grand scheme of things, this is what's happening in the movies, and they need to focus on that and stop throwing so much stuff. So because me and Anthony gave them the benefit of the doubt coming into all this stuff, and let's see where they're going with it, but it just seemed like they're just keep on throwing more stuff in the pot, more stuff in the pot, and it's just like I don't get what you're making at this point. And I think they need to kind of, I like how they're dialing it back. Like Deadpool 3 is the only MCU movie getting released this year. The only MCU movie getting released this year. And that's
which is wild to think about.
Which is a good sign, though. It's like, all right, we need to kind of back things up.
Scale it back,
Scale it back. Let some of this stuff marinate a little bit. And kind of like...
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, to just expand on your point, like the whole, like, this, like, and maybe some of this has to do with fan expectations as well, but also too, like, there needed to be, I don't know where the disconnect happened to where you could have, because technically you still could, like, Daredevil had, like, it was known, like, you kind of let them know that Daredevil's an individual grounded story that's taking place in a small neighborhood in New York. But, like, you know, when he would have some of those scenes with Ben Johnson in the editing room, and you saw the newspapers,
exactly,
back on New York, and they would talk about those things,
to let you know that, hey,
you knew it was taking place in the universe. It somehow came to a point where now it can't just be
its own side thing.
And that's, I think that's some of the fans, that's some of Marvel being able to say, and that's why they're doing now, I don't remember what they're calling it, but they're doing their little, like, dark universe. That's what they're introducing with Echo. They're like making it a point to say, hey, yes, this takes place in the MCU, but don't expect anything bigger to be addressed. Like, this just like happened with the characters that you know and love. Like, this is just like to, you know, give you a little bit more of Kingpin and Daredevil.
Bring that more of the ground level type of stuff in there again. And have those stories.
I think once you kind of get back to deciphering what is, because again, that was like their strength. Like, someone like my parents could watch the entire MCU from just Iron Man to Endgame and get the full and complete story without having to watch the little shit in between that I would enjoy. Like, they don't have to watch those little things in order to get the payoffs that happen.
Yeah, exactly. Man,
and I think and it's becoming Star Wars. I've mentioned this several times, where Marvel was scaring me with all the shit they were dropping, that they were going to turn into Star Wars, to where you had to watch season 3, episode 28 of Clone Wars in order to pay something off. You know, sidebar, this is why I don't watch One Piece.
Same. Too much.
I'm not doing it. That's why
Nope, I'm in that same boat as you. I'm not touching that at all until they condense that stuff, which they are gonna Netflix is coming out with their own One Piece anime, and I think they're going to kind of like condense a lot of that stuff down and everything.
I don't
So
know, man. That's a
because
lot.
that's a yes,
Those
that's a
guys are
lot. And
doing God's work because that's a lot.
yeah, condense some of that stuff down, a lot less filler
Man.
stuff attached to it. But that's what I as far as like less filler, I would say, what if season 2 100% surprised me because I had no expectations going into it, and a lot of these episodes, and this is pretty much what if Peggy Carter did this, that, and the third, because she was
Mhm.
prominent in a lot of these
She was
episodes,
she was the main character of the season for sure.
which I was not mad at because the stories that they put her in and everything actually was interesting and actually was
Mhm.
not bad at all.
No.
Which also, yeah, so and also they had that what was it, the Indian, Kahori, the new character that they're introducing,
Oh
the Native
yeah.
American.
Yeah, Cody.
So yeah, Kahori.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, her episode was like, yeah, pretty, it was all right, but it was the other episode that she was in. I'm like, all right, this character has a lot more better personality to her than just being, again, hey, we need some diversity. Let's have this Native American person that can do all this stuff. And it seemed like pretty much by the books, her
Mm.
episode, but I was like, all right, there's potential there until she got into that later. I think it was
Like
the
the
last
second to
episode.
last, or was it the second to last?
I think it was no, I think it was the last episode where the Doctor Strange and they have to
Yeah.
stop him.
Yep.
So it was like, yeah, so it was like
Oh,
the
it is
last
the last
episode
one.
where
You're right.
yeah, where
I
she
watched it.
got
I
like
watched it all in one big fucking hotel blur.
oh
So it's
yeah.
all one episode to me.
I was kind of shocked that they were doing it like every single day,
Yeah, that was awesome.
dropping an episode.
I had just waited because by the time the episode started dropping, I was actually home on Christmas break. So like I had no time. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll just wait the 5, 6, 7 days, and then when I'm back at
Yep,
the
and
hotel,
just
just boom. And that was awesome.
yeah, that was great because even then I was like I fell behind like 3 episodes and stuff, and it's like, oh shit, I forgot this is dropping every single day. All right, let me
Yeah.
just not because I think it was the last 3 episodes. I just knocked those all out in one sitting because I was like, oh yeah, forgot. And that was like there and just like boom, 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 and just knocked them out like that. But yeah, giving her some more personality. So who knows how, you know what? I don't think she is going to step out of the I would like into the actual like big movies
You should just stay in
at
the
all.
animated film, or
I
do you
think
think
she's
that's
gonna stay or that or something a little bit more smaller. I think she probably would be in the animated realm. I don't think you would probably won't see her in any movie capacity or anything, and probably till they get into phase 8, 9, or something later on down the line. I
yeah?
think she's gonna probably
You got to get back
this
on the road here. Yeah,
she'll
I do
probably
like the introduction of the characters, but
yeah. But she, at least I hope they don't try to shoehorn her into anything. You might
not
get her in Secret Wars
yeah. It's gonna
because
be
just
because with all the characters that you already have, and if you're gonna want to start introducing the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, like you're gonna have to pepper these things in strategically. You're gonna have to, you know what I mean? So like reel it back here. Yeah, let's not
reel it back a little bit because we still like you said, all the people that you just named right there, they're coming because you already put it out there. X-Men are coming. You've already put that out there. Fantastic Four is coming, and these aren't like single characters, these are teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of people to cover.
Yeah, these are a lot of people to cover. So you already got enough people, no need, and you still got people in this all these different phases in this saga that you still kind of forgotten about. We already know what America Chavez is. She's just there so they can multiversal jump for anything, and she's going to probably show up in the Young Avengers on some kind of level a little bit, but she's not really there. The Eternals, you ain't gonna get them. I think those you can probably throw them now with the Inhumans wherever they're at. They're hanging out with them on that end because you're not getting nothing Eternals wise for quite some time, and I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if we get any Eternals going forward.
We're not. Yeah, we're probably not. I think that's going to get pulled off the.
Told you, they're getting close over to that closet where the Inhumans are at, and they're almost getting shoved right in there with them.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
There, because it's creeping up to that. So who knows? So you ain't got to deal with them anymore. But yeah, I'm thinking about that. If you ain't got, you still got Miss. You got Miss Marvel.
You got Miss Marvel. You got those. You got the Marvel characters. You still got. Like, are we gonna address the whole Doctor Strange incursion, Charlize Theron? Are we gonna, I mean, like, are we gonna address that? We still have Shang-Chi still running around out there somewhere. His sister's out there reforming the you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you got Karen who's running fucking
right,
her evil empire down there. You've got Mary Louise Dreyfus splitting up her team. You got like there's a lot of shit going on here. We need to get back on the road. There's a lot of detours. There's a lot of shit we need to see before we get back to the main park. Like, I don't. There's a lot of shit. I don't know. Because like that's the thing. If you're Marvel, do you just kind of just act like it doesn't happen and just leave it alone and don't pay 80% of this shit off and just keep it pushing, or do you know what I mean? Like
I think what they're most likely going to do. Well, they're also, speaking of the Thunderbolts, you got like Steven Yeun dropping out as Sentry now, so they have to recast that character. So you're going to also introduce Sentry into this. So it's like, I think them stepping back and just only having one movie this year is really a good sign for them. Kind of like, all right, we need to establish some things and not shove so many characters down people's throats at this point.
And like the thing is that like I feel like with the introduction, like you got to like recast Sentry, but you need to recast Sentry because like Sentry is that's a major character, and
I don't think as I say, I don't think he's going to be like it, kind of like how Adam Warlock was kind of just.
I hope Adam they don't Warlock, do that.
But I'm not saying that. Hey, what's up, GMS? What up? But yeah, I don't think they're going to. I'm not saying make him an idiot. I'm just saying they're going to depower him a bit.
I'm not talking about the depower. I'm talking about just his story in general. Like he could carry his own film. Like if you wanted to like introduce or like TV show, like a Sentry from him being a drug addict to getting his powers, like, you could, it's a little bit of a compelling story if you wanted to go that route. I'm just saying the amount of characters that they got to be careful here with the characters and
they are. And I think just the fact that he's going to be the villain apparently in Thunderbolts, so you can't have him be as strong as he normally is.
No,
yeah, you can't. So you have to depower him because you're going against a lesser Avengers type squad team. In that sense, so
this is very true.
So that's going to be interesting how they're going to put that together, but it's gonna be interesting. Well, I also read, well, this is probably just rumor that Shang-Chi 2 is in the works, or they're working on it
Oh, good.
as we as of right now. So
Because that was a hidden gem. That was one that they knocked out of the park. That they needed badly. That was a home run that they needed badly.
Yep, it was one of those ones where it's like, ooh, okay.
That was one of those ones that was so good that you almost say to yourself, like, why aren't all like, how come you guys can't just do this every time?
Because
like, looking back on it, like, it really is like they stripped it down and made a kung fu movie in the Marvel universe. Like that's what they need to do. They need to take these characters and just say these are the character, but they're inside of the universe. Like he had his own movie.
And that's where we were talking about, where you have these good self-contained kind of stories where, again, it really didn't push anything forward, but it was just a good movie overall.
Yeah, and it
had a good movie,
and it kind of had a callback to like the 10 Rings, which they sprinkled in Iron Man. And so you kind of just brought that full. You kept your story on a linear thread, but you brought something back full circle that you had introduced the first go around and had been peppered through the movies throughout.
Yeah, see,
that was like one of the things that made Marvel great. And you find out that, oh shit, the 10 Rings, like this is who the 10 Rings are.
Right. And and now you get, because they definitely had to kind of sort of retcon and course correct some things on there. But again, like you said, but they still made a compelling movie and a compelling story overall with that. So they just need to get back to doing that, like saying, just making good movies, and you can just have a sliver. Yes. And just put things, I told you, make things on a linear path. And we'll see with the Captain America 4, with all that. And Red Hulk is definitely going to be in that movie. The Lego toys kind of spoiled that.
Oh, did it already? Oh,
yeah, no. they had Lego toys.
Done it again.
Yeah, they leaked the leaked Lego toys for Captain America 4, and it had the Red Hulk.
Oh no, let's see. Oh no!
There. So they tried to play stupid, like, what, Red Hulk? And Harrison Ford's pants are ripped and everything, so it's kind of like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about and everything. It was like, dog, we know you're having the leader as your main bad guy. You have Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in the movie, and it's like,
whoopsie daisies. That's awesome.
It's like, yeah, we know about that, but that's like that kind of reveal is one that we knew that was coming. It's like, you guys are doing a very poor job at hiding that this is going to be there. It's like, dog, Harrison Ford is literally sitting in the chair with ripped up pants. And such. It's like, oh, so we're getting Red Hulk. So why is his pants ripped up like that?
I forgot that he's stepping into that role.
Yep, he is Thunderbolt Ross. Good old Thaddeus.
And to see his take on it.
It's Harrison Ford. I'm pretty sure he'll do just fine.
He'll do fine. I'm curious. I'm not pessimistically curious. I am genuinely
curious on how he's going to do. And are we going to get a showdown between Hulk and Red Hulk? That's going to happen.
Probably not.
You don't think so?
No. They do Mark Ruffalo so dirty. We might get a showdown between Scar and Red Hulk. But I don't think they do Mark Ruffalo so dirty.
Scar is going to probably be in that movie. You have to, again, you're already teasing the Young Avengers, so you might as well.
Yeah.
You have to put him in there somehow.
feel like at this point, Hulk needs to be like in encasement of an emergency, break glass. Like just let him rage, and then he's got to take off. Like that's the thing. I feel like this is one of these situations where if he, because they've built this smart Hulk character, and because he's built a trust with the community, if he goes full like rage Hulk, he's gonna have to disappear again. So like if you would like it'd be a good fitting to like say goodbye to Mark Ruffalo's Hulk if you wanted to, you know, kind of end that chapter and potentially put it. I mean, that'd be the only way I could see. That's the only way that I could see like a showdown between like where we could get any sort of old Hulk back. Like Ragnarok and before. Like that's the only way I feel like we're gonna get that.
I think he's going to tap into it, and it's like, all right, come on, big guy. And I think he's going to be able to control it in the sense when it gets a little bit too far down. That he's going to be, and I think that might be a part in the movie where they try to calm him down.
I forgot. But in She-Hulk, is he still hurt? Like, is he permanently injured from the snap, or is he? I can't remember.
No, he's not. No, he's not permanently injured from the snap.
He did heal from that.
Yep, he healed from it. He's back. Okay. Yeah, because he was when he was training.
Oh yeah, he's doing the yoga and his
and everything else. So yeah, he's fully healed in that show. But it'll be interesting to see Captain America 4. That's one of the ones I was actually more, excited for and interested in to see what that movie is going to be.
Yeah,
and what they're going to do. It's next year, I think, like summer next year, early next year. I think it is. Like, I think it's going to be like the first half of the year. That is going to be because that movie's pretty much already done. Already,
these writer strikes, man.
Yeah,
these strikes just everything. Push the whole game back.
We might only get one MCU movie this year, but that's not the only Marvel movie we're getting this year. We're getting Madam Web and we're getting Kraven. So,
oh yeah. How do you feel about Madam Web? We haven't discussed Madam Web since.
Oh man.
I mean, like, so I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I was kind of just, sitting on it, letting it stew. I went back to it a couple days later, watched the trailer again, and I saw the top comment, right? Because, when you first open it up, you can see just that first comment or the one that's the most liked or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I see the top comment, and the top comment states, "This looks like a really well done college film or like fan film project."
Oh, I saw one that was saying that's a very well done like CW show like that. Like
yeah,
that.
Along the same lines. Like
we're on the same lines. It's like, yeah, that's how it really is looking. Like it's like this like I'm not excited.
Like this looks like they succeeded more in what do you remember when DC tried to put out they thought we forgot. Remember them trying to launch Gotham Knights?
Oh yeah.
They were like, this would be a really this is what this feels like. This would be a really cool idea. And then they just fucking swing and miss. Because they're like, oh, instead of Peter Parker, we're going to do Ben Parker and we're going to do these future. And it's like, all right, listen, I know what you're doing. But Spider-Man is like Batman. You can't do a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man. You can't do a Batman-based anything without Batman. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And you're destined to fail. And it's just like you cannot do it. And that's what you're getting this feeling in this movie. It is just like you're trying to do something, Sony, but it we've seen this happen plenty of times, and it just seems so cheesy and corny, and not in a good way. It seems corny and bad how Sony has been carrying their movies with Morbius and
Mm-hmm.
such, and it's like you're giving us that and I don't care what anybody says, those Venom movies are really not that good. So
They're
you're
not.
giving
I'm sorry, they're not. Venom is, and I was thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, Venom is probably the one character that you could do a movie on its own without Spider-Man. But there's
yeah.
always still gonna be that lingering. Where is he? Is he in the universe? Is he still there?
Mhm.
Like, where is Spider-Man? And
Right.
yeah. And to your point, yeah. First one's
It's
entertaining. The second one, just I can't even.
Yeah, the second one was trash. And again, it's just like how you have like Tom Hardy and people like him carrying the movie, but you just can't. Yeah, that second one just didn't hit right because
The problem was is that they tried to cater it to kid. They tried to cater it like they tried to toe the line, and it's hard to do it with those kind of movies. You
Mhm.
can't like when you have a character like Venom who is you can't have like a R-rated character in a PG-13
Mhm.
unless he's accompanied by other PG-13 characters. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, if you're just
Yeah,
having a solo Venom thing, it has to be R-rated, and also you're gonna have Carnage as your main villain in your second movie, and it's still PG-13 sort of thing.
that really upset me when I saw that. I was like, "There's no way you can do a Carnage movie and not have it be
All right, and
R-rated."
again, you're not accompanying it like you said with other PG-13 kind of characters like a
Yeah,
Spider-Man. If you threw Spider-Man in there and kind of keep it in that kind of realm and kind of throw
goofy and yeah, then it,
like no, you can't do that, but and that's where you get the nastiness of like those movies, and that's why Craven looks like it's more promising because all right, we're just gonna just go ahead and make an R-rated movie.
right, we're gonna let the characters be the characters.
Yeah,
Like
let the
you,
characters be the
yeah,
characters
like you see
and
what
just
happens. Like to the counterpoint. Like if you're gonna make a Joker movie, like Joker on his own would be an R-rated character, just like Joaquin Phoenix's
mhm.
movie is R-rated. But
Yeah.
if you accompany him with a Batman or with Batman and Robin, or like then he becomes a PG-13 character because you kind of water that down with the interactions and with the peril because somebody's getting saved.
Yes,
You know,
exactly. And you have
but
that.
like Joker on its own is in fact like that's a terrifying thing to look at.
Mhm.
That's a
Right.
fucking
And
horrifying situation to
right.
be in.
And
As Jason
mhm.
Todd, like it's not always gravy. Like
Yeah, exactly. It is an R-rated type of affair. So that's the thing where I, and this is the thing also, let's go back, yeah, to the whole Madam Web thing. It's just the fact that
oh yeah.
you're really making it seems like a teeny bopper CW Riverdale type of movie. And like, what audience are you trying to cater to
The
with this
HBO
movie?
Max audience, the
Yeah, the
Euphoria
CW.
audience,
Yep. hmm Yeah,
W
exactly. Yeah, that's what
the
they're
Tom
trying.
Holland aged audience. Because that's the thing. Like Tom Holland got a lot of lady fans, but they're not really. You know what I mean? Like
But you ain't getting them with this kind of movie, and you're not advertising
you
it that
might
kind of movie.
because they tie themselves to like Zendaya and the like the Sydney Sweeties of the world and like that kind
Yeah.
of fandom and crowd area. So you bring them, you pull them into it. You pull them now
Oh,
into the superhero realm. That's it's Mickey Mouse. I know. I'm not arguing your point. I'm giving you the
yeah.
strategic marketing purposing for why we're getting this kind of movie. They're just trying to
And
suck in a new crowd. You know what I mean?
it's the wrong one because those ones are not going to come out to see that kind of movie. That movie is going to flop hard at the box office. I
Well,
I
they're
predict that
mistaken.
one's going to flop.
They are mistaken.
Because like you're not really differentiating what crowd you're trying to do. If you're trying to get that kind of CW euphoria type of teeny bopper type of crowd, you need to do better with that advertising towards those kind of people, because they're trying to toe the line between the two. And if you're trying to get the people who were into the Spider-Man movies, like you said, the Tom Holland ones, or that's not the crowd that are going to be looking at Madam Web and be like, this is right up my
But,
alley, just because you have
but
like
you could though.
Spider-ish characters in there.
That's the problem. See, that's the problem, is that nobody's thinking. They're like, look. This dude is sitting at home and he's watching Spider-Man, and he's watching Daredevil, and he's watching The Dark Knight, and he's watching all these other comic book shows, right? And his girlfriend's on the other side of the couch, and in her free time, when they're not watching shows together, she's watching shit like Euphoria, and she's watching whatever these other shows are, whatever you want to call them, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard to fucking just blend the two and not make something corny about it. Because you could make a Madam Web movie that appeals to everyone. Madam Web is just like a willy-nilly throwaway, hey, we can bring in the lady crowd character.
Yeah.
She is like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
So you could have done this even without Spider-Man. Like, I know that I just said you can't make a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man, but you still could like bring in like instead of the villain that they chose, they could have maybe done like a Miguel O'Hara or like a like just like
exactly they could have done that, but I think the dialogue and
it's geared towards they're trying to bring in a new fan base instead of trying to blend the fan bases, because then it's not, because now this guy's not dragging his girlfriend out to go see it. He might, and then they might end up just going to see a trash movie instead of him being like, oh, we got to go see this movie together. You know what I mean? Like, you're not blending the crowds.
But I think they could have blended crowds if they just could have just had the actresses in there, but you're going to make your top dollar with making it not so like a CW cheesy movie. You already got like your Sydney Sweeney's stuff in there, and oh yeah, I like her in this. I like her in this thing, and I like her in that. Oh my goodness, let's go see this.
I don't mind if they're in it if it's a good fucking movie.
And the thing too, and we'll say now to say this about like also those kind of like crowd and those women that like those kind of movies, they tend to go to movies anyway because this star's in there, or Ryan Gosling's in there. That's going to bring them out to the movie theater, no matter what kind of movie it is, or like a name has to be attached to it for them to kind of for them to come out and go see that kind of movie. So they can just lean on that more than anything, and then just kind of like, all right, now we got you here, now we can do the actual action-y kind of movie and just kind of keep it in that realm too, because all right, we'll get your dollar because we got characters from this show that you like in here. But we know the dollars are going to be in the people who go see the comic book movies, in a sense. And I think this,
but see, like, we're wise to it now, though. That's the thing. Like, people are wise to it now, right? They're wise to look. People will fan cast. Yeah, we will. But if you do the fan cast right, then it works.
Right.
Then it does work. But you can't just make a movie for the sake of paying off some fan service or trying to bring in a new crowd because for what? Like,
yeah, it's gonna be. Hey, it's just this one's gonna flop. Craven's gonna hit. I think.
Well, Craven might hit. Craven might be a hit. I don't think it'll be a box office
No, yeah, I don't think it's going to be like, oh,
Nuts, but
$500 million at the box office. No, it's going to
I
get
think
well received. It's going to get well received.
yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen because
I hope.
it's given off the vibes of, yo, how Blade was a rated
Mhm.
R comic book movie where it's just I don't have to know this character or I don't have to, be engraced in like who this thing is. I just see a badass person doing badass stuff on the screen, a vampire killing and him flipping
Mhm.
knife, throw his little
Oh,
boomerang
yeah.
thing, catch it. You like, all right, that's what you need to sell people on is that all right, just badassness, like him going in there, beating people in the car, biting their necks and stuff like that, and going crazy. I'm like, oh shoot, okay, that's what
I
y'all
think
do.
having him in Spider-Man 2 helps as well.
Oh,
That's
yep, and
gonna
now you have him as the
that kind of
villain.
keeps him towards the forefront of the more
Yeah,
recent. People will recognize that name, poke that name out.
and
Will
that's the
kind
thing,
of
and kind of
make people intrigued again.
and that like not only make people intrigued again, make people kind of like, hmm. I'm not familiar with Craven, but he's in this Spider-Man, and he's a serious threat, and he can pretty much do this. Like, oh, this is what Craven can do. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I was like, I'm not familiar with him, but this is who the villain is, and he can kind of
you
do
gotta.
all
Yeah,
these kind of things, and he can kind of like, oh, he's just like a master hunter. He can do this, that, and the third. Oh, okay. All right, like
he's
I'm down.
he is
That's what people will get.
underrated.
Right, and he
I
can
like
like,
Raven. I think he's
and I think,
do some damage.
oh yeah, and Spider-Man 2 have him being in there that kind of, like you said, put people's interest in the forefront of, oh, that's Craven. Oh, now you see the trailer, how he's just kind of moving around and just being like so animalistic, beating the shit out of people, biting their necks, being ruthless, and doing all this stuff. And it's like, okay, it's gonna pique a lot more people's interest, and I think how they're gonna do the advertising, they already kind of did it already. Just all right, we're gonna let you know this is a rated R movie, and we're gonna put it in your face that this
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a strictly rated R movie, and we're
He was
not gonna
biting
hold
off
any.
noses and shit, dude. That was
Right. Exactly. It's like, and that's what you need to do. Show him kicking ass and doing things like that. That's what you have to bring, that feeling of what Blade did originally, and just be that kind of a badass type of person. And then you're going to get that crowd out there. I think it's gonna do better than people will expect it. It's going to get received well, just because I think that they understand what kind of movie it is, and they know how they're going to advertise it, or how they're advertising it. So it's like, all right, you got me intrigued. So it was like, we'll see how this.
I just want to see how Sony what is Sony's like. Are they just like is Sony just gonna? Because if they are, I'm all here for it. Are they just gonna roll out movies and just roll out characters, or are they, like
They're
is
still
there
trying to build their own universe, sort of thing.
yeah, is that what they're doing? They're building
They're still they still trying to build their own universe type of
their own
thing.
little Sinister Six universe.
Yeah, with their kind of characters, they're still
Mm,
trying to do that.
bold
I don't think
strategy.
that's. Yeah, I don't. Mm. Yeah,
No.
all this without Spider-Man.
Yes, I don't see it working.
It isn't.
No.
They'll try. They keep trying. They keep throwing everything at the wall. They keep
I
throwing
think maybe
everything at the wall.
what if like just for the fun of it, they just like every couple years. I understand it's a business and you want to make money, but what if you just like every couple years you just for the fuck of it did like what DC did and just throw out like you just throw out like a Craven movie and then you just like throw out a Rhino movie and like they got nothing to do with anything. They're just like just like how they came to be. Like Rhino's first time wreaking havoc before he went to, New York to cause damage. We don't see what happens after that. It's just like that's just what happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
You see, you know what I mean? We just get like different movies. Like we get a Black Cat movie, we get a fucking Sandman movie, like just like for the fun of it, just throw it out there. But make it a good movie. Don't make it a series of movies. Don't try to plant them within their own, like within a giant universe. Just like make your own good movie.
That's the key word right there. A good movie, which they have not done. Even like you can't even get me excited in any of the things that you're doing because the actual product that you're putting out there is not good. So if you want to throw an end credit stinger in there and have Vulture show up, and it's like, I don't care. This movie is trash. And first of all, not a lot of people seen this movie, so it's kind of like, what are you doing?
Yeah, let there be carnage was the end of Sony for me. Like that was where I was like, all right, I've lost all faith in what you guys are doing here.
Right.
you guys took great characters and great actors and just made them all look silly.
Right. Yeah. It just wasn't.
Made them all just come so silly. And so ridiculous.
It was stupid. It's like, but we shall see what's going on with that. But
what else is coming up? We got Echo coming up. We got
Echo.
Yeah, we got really nothing coming down. I mean, like everything's kind of laying in wait now with those with them what do you call it? The strikes.
The wider strike and everything like that. But I'll say this, there are.
Is there anything else good? Is there anything else good out right now, coming out recently? Covered What If.
The only thing that I would say, non comic book related stuff, but what's really good right now is Reacher season 2.
Is that a good show?
Oh yeah.
Do I need to start that show? So
yes.
Oh, so speaking of Reacher, I need to point this out. My cousin, so there's a reason I have when we were doing our list and we were like, oh, who could play which actors or whatever. I don't know if maybe I gotta go back and watch the tape, but I don't know if you brought this up because you would have been the only one to know about the Alan Richardson thing.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Him wanting to wants to play Batman?
No, my cousin pointed out to me that Alan Richardson was Aquaman in Smallville.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that, and that might have been part of the reason I wanted him as Aquaman.
Yeah, I think we did brought it up,
and I forgot that he was Arthur Curry in Smallville.
I think you did bring it up in there. Like you said, you have to watch the tape, but I'm pretty sure you did bring that part up. I think you did bring that up.
That he was in Smallville?
Yeah, I think somebody had to bring that up. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I can't believe none of us brought that up, or because he pointed that out to me, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's right. He was already Aquaman." But it'd still be a good fit. It'd work.
But it could. But that also brings back to what I was saying earlier that yes, he expressed interest that he wants to play Batman.
That's what my cousin said. My cousin said he wants to see him play Batman, and I was like, I don't. Can he play Bruce Wayne?
He can. Watch Reacher. I'm telling you, watch Reacher.
That's what my cousin just told me too over Christmas. He's like, you got to watch Reacher, and I promise you can see why.
Yeah.
Batman too. So okay, so now I'm like, all right, now I got to watch Reacher, I guess, because I got with him telling me the same thing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. No, dog, watch Reacher, and then you would definitely can see him playing. Yeah, he can definitely play a Bruce Wayne type of role easily, and he can 1,000% knock Batman.
Oh yeah, I'm not questioning playing Batman himself. I always question the Bruce Wayne end of it. You know what I mean? Like I gotta be able to see.
Watch.
I mean, like, and I saw him as I really liked him as Hawk in Titans, despite Titans being like as bad of a show as it was. He was a highlight for me in that like he kind of carried a lot of that stuff for me.
Yeah.
But
See, I don't know, remember. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, he was good in that. But
he
I'm
was good
telling
in
you, as
that show.
far as
That show was so bad though. Like overall as a whole, it was just not. It
yeah, I
had
remember like
great intentions, and then it just
yeah, I kind of fell off of it. It's not around anymore, but I
I
fell off.
think I watched the first 2 seasons of season 2, and then I just couldn't anymore. I was like, you know what, I'm not here
Mhm.
for it anymore.
And I was watching it like sporadically too, on top of that. But yeah, I'm telling you, watch Reacher, especially I think season 2 really
Mhm.
shows that he can really definitely nail down that Bruce Wayne Batman duality type of role. Season 2, I think, yeah,
Oh
you get more of that in season 2. Season 1, he he does have like lines and he does have dialogue, but he's
yeah,
mainly more of a muscle. In season 2 you get more, he gets way more dialogue and he gets way more things to do as far as like acting and having that dialogue, and also with the action
okay.
in there on top of that. But
All right.
I would say, but for season 1 is still a good season. Like you can still see like, all right, this guy can, if they have him play
Mhm.
Bruce,
You can
I
dig
wouldn't
it.
be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
I
You're
mean, I
talking
wouldn't be
about
okay.
you're talking about Batfleck having the physical look and the imposing
Yeah.
look and how he can do that. 100%. Yeah,
Oh,
Alan
100%. Yeah.
Ritson can really do that. And if you watch Reacher, how the fighting happens in that, and how he there's like told you just the
Yeah.
muscle
Well, like I
type of
said, yeah,
person.
because that's well, like I said, I mean, I saw him in Titan, so I know how he moves, and I've seen him do action sequences. So I mean, I could dig it. I can
Mhm.
feel it.
But just watch Reacher overall. That's just a good show.
Maybe it's the blonde hair that's throwing me off.
Blonde hair.
Yeah,
You
because
can always
like, no, I'm not. I wouldn't say no to it. It just would. It would be. It would take me. It would take me a few minutes to get used to like a light haired, a fair haired Bruce Wayne.
and Reacher, his hair is a lot darker in Reacher. He's like
Is
more,
it?
he's a brunette. Yeah, he's a brunette type of
Okay.
hair. He's got brown hair in Reacher. So
Yeah.
he's not like, because I know what blonde, like, yeah, like on the earlier stuff, like he has that blonde hair, but no, in Reacher, and he also, if it's going to be the Batman in the James Gunn universe, he has a lot more older look too in Reacher with
Yeah.
the beard. You can see like has some grays in there and everything. So it's like I like, whoo,
Okay. You can
keep
see
it.
him being an old grizzled father trying to
Mhm. Oh
navigate
yeah,
that.
watch Reacher and you can definitely see that being the case.
All right. All right.
I think you should put that on top of the
On top of the watch list. All right.
watch list.
I'm gonna finish this Natalie Grace documentary, and then I'm gonna start Reacher.
Oh yeah, no, the Secrets of the Natalia
The
Grace thing. Oh, did
Yeah,
you just
the
watch season
Curious
2?
Case of Natalie Grace. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
like, I got like 2 episodes left of season 2, and I'm like, oh, this.
keep watching. I'm not going to spoil
Are you
anything,
done with it?
but oh yeah,
Oh, son
oh
of a
yeah.
bitch!
I'm
I'm
telling you,
cruising through that thing, bro. I'm so mad.
what
I get so mad watching it. Sometimes.
it is nuts, and I
What a
won't.
wild story, bro.
It is crazy, and the fact that everybody's crazy. The the dad is nuts. He's like he's just a head case all in his own.
Bro, he in it for himself.
Hmm.
He's
And
in it
just
for himself. Oh, I'm like, yo.
and putting everything on the mom and just not taking no accountability. And it's like, dog, you were literally in season 1 talking all that mess.
Yeah, you were pitching Orphan to people, dude.
Right,
Like you were pitching
exactly.
the movie Orphan. Holy shit.
Yeah. And he was, and yeah, he still comes off as a crazy person. And even towards the end,
Yeah,
and
just that.
it gets really nutty, man. I'm just gonna tell you this: there's gonna be I wouldn't say it's an end credit sort of Marvel stinger, but you're gonna get a stinger at the end of
Oh,
this.
son of a bitch! Because
You're gonna get a stinger.
Because I'm at the part where they're having their second sit down.
Oh, okay. So you're pretty much done.
I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I think I got maybe an episode and a half left, or two
Yeah.
left.
I think no, you got just one more episode. You got one more episode left after that, and then it's gonna be like, oh, ooh, wasn't expecting that one, kind of, but like, ooh, it's the kind of stinger that's gonna be like, you're the way that you're already sitting at the edge of your seat with this show, that one's gonna make you fully fall off of it towards the end. And it's like, oh, y'all want to keep this going
before I go to sleep tonight, huh?
It's like, oh man, y'all want to keep this going, don't y'all? It's like, oh, y'all want to keep this going, don't y'all?
Season 3, we get to hear from the mom. Is that? Oh, I hope that's the case. I want the mom to come out and say something.
Just watch the end. You're going to be thoroughly surprised.
Oh no! Now I got to get to it. That's wild.
I'm telling you, you probably should get to it and just kind of.
Dude, these HBO documentaries are fucking bananas.
Yeah, they're nuts.
So nuts. I can't.
It is nuts. And I can't believe, that whole story and everything, and then pretty much season 2 just proving that no, she was a little girl. We did all the tests and everything, like y'all.
9 years old, living on her own and shit.
Mm-hmm. It was like, yeah, we're just gonna just debunk this right away in this first episode. Like, yeah, she was like, first couple episodes, like, all right, yeah, she was a kid.
She was 9, dude.
Yeah. And y'all, and the mom, like, yeah, I don't, that mom, yeah, that is crazy.
Sending nudes to the other dude, like to the just
yeah.
To the other, what was this, Johnny Gill?
Yeah, no man, not Johnny Gill, no man.
Can you imagine, like, who'd you send these to, and you find out that that's who your wife is flirting with and sending news to? Like, no respect to Johnny Gill, but I would be. I'd be hot, bro.
We're not gonna do that to John.
As a
new
full,
Johnny
Gill. Listen, no disrespect, but as a full-grown man, you know how upset I would be if I found out that that's who my wife was flirting with and sending news to. Oh, listen.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, he's got to be better off and better looking than me. Like, that's
right. You can't be that guy, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
you know what I mean?
Like, but also
better be a dime piece. Like,
you know what? Looking at her husband and who he is and what nutcase he is, it's like anything can probably be more better than upgrade than that. Freaking nutcase dude.
As crazy as evil as she was too hot for him. I'll tell you that right now.
Right? Yeah, he definitely bad out of his league, and how she was all successful, but she's like those moms where it's like, she has to be a control freak and really
just shit crazy.
Yeah. Pepper spraying her and everything.
Dude.
You can't do math problems right, or you can't read this correctly, get pepper sprayed in the face. Like, wow, that's just a different kind of just crazy.
All because your other kid, you really, that's the other part that got me. She thought that her kid was a genius, or that she made her kid a genius.
Yeah, no. Just because you think your kid's like freaking Rain Man.
That wasn't you. That was just
that
was a roll of the dice chemistry makeup right there.
Yeah, exactly. You just got lucky, but you just made it seem like I'm this one. Yeah, you just got lucky.
That was a legit chemical roll of the dice that those neurons lined up the way that they did.
You just got one of the lucky ones. That could be any parent. There's plenty of other parents that are like that, and not because of you.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with with you homeschooling your fucking kid.
Yeah, right.
About it.
People bought it. People bought into that crap.
There's no fucking shot.
Right. Man,
there's no shot. You might have guided them and helped them here and there, but yeah, that shit's a gift. That's not just.
Well, now kind of looking at it now, like now he's just in the basement now.
Dude, I never I never felt worse for like like watching a documentary. Like I never kind of like felt worse for laughing when they first introduced Jacob. Like I laughed and then I immediately just felt horrible for laughing when he comes down the steps and he's like, "Yeah, you could say I've regressed." And
oh man, right? Oh man, it's like it's like you think a little bit. It's like was looking at your surroundings. It's like, yes,
bro, you have regressed literally and figuratively. Like you are down in the basement. Like you can't even do math in the sunlight. My
right,
brother,
exactly. You're done. Yeah, you're cooked. Right,
dude.
Yeah,
you can say I've regressed. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely 100% regressed. We can see it. We can see it all around you.
Yep. Oh yeah, and then all the hot mic situations, kicking her down the stairs, dropping her,
and everything. Mm-hmm. It's like that hot mic. That hot mic will get you in trouble. It's definitely got people in trouble on HBO docs before. So
yeah, I can't believe you're still trying to protect her. If you stole 200,000 from me, all bets are off. I'm telling everything.
Yeah,
you are. I'm telling all the secrets.
I am squealing. I am singing.
Writing all my own books, dude. Like,
yeah, I'm singing like Johnny Gill, but yeah,
yeah,
right. But man, you need to finish it. You need to finish it. I'm telling you. Probably finish. Finish that before you get to Reacher.
That's like because this HBO doc got me. It's got me just watching it. Like I just need to. I keep going back to it. I'm like, this show is
right. Yeah,
fucking bananas.
Right. You need to 100% finish that tonight, and then you can go to the group chat with your shocked face at the end of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Oh no! Now I'm intrigued. Now I'm like,
just do it.
Gotta go watch it.
Just do it. I'm telling you.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. Fuck it.
Nope. Yep. Just finish it. Don't even just like before you go to bed. Just finish the episodes. Ain't even that long anyway, so you can knock those out pretty like.
That's true.
And just knock them out.
Maybe watch a little X-Men or something to decompress after all the shock.
Yeah, exactly right. But not Dark Phoenix though.
No. I watched the cartoon Dark Phoenix.
Oh, there you go.
The old saga, the series.
Yeah, there you go. That's the good one. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not an amateur.
You're right there.
or if I want to watch a live action Dark Phoenix, I'll watch The Last Stand.
Yeah, right.
That's the real Dark Phoenix movie.
Exactly right. Yeah, watch there. That's the real good.
That's the real Dark Phoenix. If you want to know about the Dark Phoenix, you watch The Last Stand or you watch the cartoon. If you don't feel like reading the comic.
Yeah, even The Last Stand's really not that great, but
it's not. But it's closer. Like when you compare side by side movies, you're like, all right. All right.
Yeah, I agree. If that's how you're framing it, sure, you're right.
Because they took it was like I'm not saying it's as good of a movie. Please don't take that into context. But what I'm saying is they did, I feel like for the time that the movie was out, the X-Men The Last Stand did a better job of reconveying and sprinkling in the Dark Phoenix story like Marvel did like Civil War. Like the Civil War was such a huge fucking, like, you can't take the entirety of that story and shrink it into a 2-hour movie. And same with Dark Phoenix. Like that's such a huge storyline. You can't, but like contextually what they did in The Last Stand was way better than what they put together. Especially like in the time too, like for you to feel like that was, but yeah, The Last Stand as a whole, yeah, not the greatest, but definitely,
yeah, it's
for what they were trying to do. I still
if you're saying compared to the other Dark Phoenix one, yes, I would watch that one over it. Yes, but there's I would watch the cartoon. Yes, if you put it in that context, yeah.
I'm gonna watch the cartoon first.
Right.
Cartoon is the best.
Of that. Yeah, but anything else you want to get off your chest?
I got nothing. I'm gonna be I guess the only thing that I want to get off my chest and not rant about is that I do wish they were dropping Echo all like at midnight and not doing an 8 o'clock premiere.
Yeah,
if you're gonna drop it all at once, just drop it at midnight. Don't give me an 8 o'clock 9 a.m. Eastern time, because now that if I want to try to binge it, that puts some people at 2 o'clock in the morning. That puts me at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you better try to. Yeah.
If you're gonna drop it all at once, just drop it at midnight. That's all. That's all I wanted to get off my chest.
Yeah, I agree. Here. Oh man, but this is a great reunion. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Start off the new year. We're gonna be
without arguing.
Yeah, exactly. You thought we were going. We're not, but we'll definitely, since Echo is dropping, we will be doing we'll just do a full season run through.
I think so. We probably could get to it. Yeah, sometime this week too. If we wanted to.
Yeah.
See an issue with that.
We definitely could. I'll be down with that. But until then, everybody. We'll see you next time. We don't have the thing, but
we don't have the thing because Mr. Box of Scraps is in a box of shambles.
Yes, exactly.
Goodbye, everybody.
Peace.